Hello friends, welcome to bsptrainings.com. My name is Amit and we are continuing to building our financial cube. In today's example, I am going to show you a simple case of calculating cash movement, monthly cash movement or monthly asset movement. So it's a fairly simple example where I'm going to calculate my cash or any of the asset. If it is a month of January, my asset minus opening balance. If it is other than January, the cash movement would be asset minus previous month of asset. It is basically you're trying to find out difference between current month asset and previous month asset. That is called your cash movement. Even if you go by the definition, you find financial should contain asset data values that are stored based on month to month basis. And we can calculate the difference between asset value of successive month by subtracting the previous month value, right? So here I use a prior function which will calculate current month minus prior month, and the difference between both would be stored under asset movement. So let's see this code in our cube context. So this is our financial cube which we built in the previous classes, and we have our account dimension. One of the financial elements is balance sheet, and the structure is same as we have total asset, current asset, cash and cash equivalent, and cash checking. So we would be using the GL number is 0111100. We would be using cash checking to find out the difference between current month and the previous month cash, and store in a separate member. Because this is a part of my management reporting, I created a separate member under my account called management reporting, which has a shared member called 111100, which is cash checking, and there is a new member called cash movement. Because these are not going to consolidate to the parent, I made them consolidation property, I made them ignore. So our outline is ready to go along with this code. The code is fairly simple. I'm going to write this code under my calculation manager. So step first, you can start with calculation manager, and there are multiple ways you have to achieve this. You can write the code in the scripting and drag and drop the script in a rule. You can write formula and drag and drop in a rule as well. Alternatively, you can write the whole code in the rule itself. Okay. So depends upon your interest. You can use any one of the way. I'm going to use in a rule, and I call this calc uh, monthly cash movement, monthly cash movement or monthly asset movement. So because it's a conditional statement, first it checks whether the given month is January month, then asset minus opening balance, otherwise asset minus previous month of asset. Okay, if it is January month, there won't be any previous month, right? So we need to subtract by opening balance. So I'm going to write the conditional statement first. My condition statement is fairly simple. I write is mbr, any function start with is, return boolean value true and false. Okay, so it return true and false. If you see there are two branches, if the condition is true, this is going to happen. If the condition is false, this branch is going to execute. So I drag and drop the formula under branch. If the condition is true, what do you want? If the condition is true, um, I like to use I like to assign a difference in cash movement member, which is nothing. This member minus cash checking minus, I'll put in a double quotes, cash checking minus opening balance. Here also I put under double quotes, because if your member contains spaces or a special character, you should supposed to put them in double quotes. If condition is true, this is going to happen. If conditions fall, what is going to happen? I put the another formula under false case. Okay, so I'll write the expression for this. This is going to be fairly simple. Your cash movement again, um, line to correct this. The cash movement is a single member. I should have put this under double quotes. So I correct this, equals to my cash checking minus uh, my prior month of cash. So I prefer to put them in a double quotes. Here also I'm going to correct it. The double quotes supposed to close over here. I save this and we validate if the code is correct. Code seems to be correct. We validated this. I'm going to save it and close it. Now we finally test this in order to make sure the code we have written is functionally correct or not. So in order to do this, first I'm going to validate and I can launch the code from here itself. Right click and validate, and you can deploy this code. And then you're going to execute this code, launch it from here. Before I launch it, I'm going to use I'll test the output. So we use a smart view, do ad hoc analysis and connect to the queue. Take any month of data, any scenario. I'm going to take actual, uh, any entity, take level 0 member, and we need an account opening balance and management reporting. I focus both on them. Okay, and I need cash movement. Yeah, I need these three members. For time also, we'll take opening balance and January, February, March. I keep 4 members. Okay, so I already have some data. I'm going to put 00 everywhere to make sure uh, we are not overwriting existing value. So I remove all the data and then I put over here opening balance, checking, cash checking. Sorry, balance sheet, I don't need it. So I keep putting current month and previous month data, right, with respect to cash checking. So it is 120, 150 and 180. I submit this and I need to calculate cash movement, right? So let's execute this code and test it. Right click, launch. No error, executed successfully, and refresh it. So I could see the difference between 120 minus 60. If it is month of January, the formula is uh, cash checking minus opening balance. Okay, cash checking minus opening balance. So it's 60. If it is a month of February, the difference between 2 months, so 120 minus 150, 150 minus 120, it's a 30. 150 minus 180 minus 150, it's 30. So this is my cash movement, right? So that's it for today. In the next example, I'm going to show you how to calculate asset movement. Sorry, how to calculate your asset depreciation. There are 3 ways in Essbase to perform asset depreciation. We'll see in subsequent example. Should you have any question, please feel free to write to us. Our site is bspsolutions.com. Thank you.